Hello, good morning, and welcome to Leave It Love. So, in here, I'm trying not to talk about this case. I'm trying so hard not to talk about this case, but the Bronx Supreme Courthouse case is a big deal. It's not being acknowledged. No one is saying anything about the case, and it's crazy to me because I'm suing the Bronx Supreme Courthouse. Okay, and then I'm suing the entire unified court system. And unified court system is an entity, it's a corporation. It's all over the United States, but I can't do anything with any other state because the states have laws. They have their own laws. So I don't have a choice but to just file it for the state of New York. It's unified court system for the New York State, for New York State. It's a federal case because it's bigger than the Bronx. I'm trying to be calm about it, but the disrespect is loud. The disrespect is loud. And I'm being disrespected. Being disrespected. I'm not being acknowledged. Whatever I'm saying or whatever I'm going through is an issue. It's a problem. Everything that is in here are incidents. It's things that happened. It's, what is it, the results of court cases. What happened in the case? What judge signed that order? Who approved it? It's just disrespect. And it's been for years, ongoing for years. My case, I was an employee for 15 years. 15 years. Since 2006, I was officially employed, and I resigned in 2020. Whatever I filed when I was employed is not what I'm suing the courthouse for. It's my evidence. It's my evidence. Everything that happened and was not acknowledged while I was an employee, that's what's in here. It's the proof, it's the evidence, it's the conversations, it's the emails, it's the complaints, it's the orders. Orders from the judge that failed me. Judges failed me. So, and then it's like, I have actual evidence of everything, and I'm still not being acknowledged. I'm just like, okay, what can I do? I try to get a lawyer. I'm looking for lawyers, and the lawyers are like, oh, they don't handle cases like this. So I'm like, oh, what kind of case is it? I'm thinking any lawyer can take the case. They're like, this is a civil rights case. You need a civil rights lawyer that can assist you with this, because they have different kind of lawyers. They have lawyers for personal injury. They have lawyers for different kind of things. They were like, you need a civil rights lawyer for this case to defend you in this case. I'm like, okay. Every civil rights lawyer that I look for, they don't want to help me because I'm suing the Bronx Supreme Courthouse. They're afraid of the Bronx Supreme Courthouse. They're afraid to sue the courthouse. I don't know why. You know, it's something that is known and it's not talked about. You know, who is the boss? Who has control of all these people like this? Who has implemented fear in everyone? Fear in the police, fear in the attorneys, fear in everyone. They make things happen. They make things don't happen. Who's the boss? Who's doing this? Who is doing this? Who is keeping the Bronx at the lowest level? The Bronx is the lowest one on the in the community. The Bronx is known for being full of drugs, for being full of all kind of problems. The Bronx is the worst. I can't even talk. Right? The Bronx is the worst borough out of all the boroughs in New York State. The Bronx is the worst. But why is it the worst? It's because the people in places of power keep it this way, and it's whoever is in charge is not doing their job. I'm calling you out. I'm telling you about the court case. I'm saying, they're supposed to respond within 35 days. That's law. You're supposed to respond to me. They don't want to respond. And I'm just like, I don't understand why. You don't want to respond because you're guilty. You're guilty of everything. Because if you was not guilty, you would have responded. If you was not guilty, you'd be like, oh my God, she's suing me for all this stuff, and you know, it's wrong. Like, she's talking crazy. They're guilty. That's why they don't want to respond. They think that I'm gonna go away. Nah, I'm not gonna go away. I'm gonna get louder. I'm gonna start talking to everyone. My information is on Facebook, is on Instagram, is on TikTok, it's wherever I gotta put it so that it can get exposure. I put it for it to get exposure. The playlists I have on YouTube, I have playlists specifically just for the Bronx Supreme Court case because I write emails. I want it to be heard. I want the newspapers to see it. I want them to see the playlist. I want you to watch the YouTube and look at the playlist specifically for the Bronx Supreme Courthouse. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why I talk about the corruption. There's a reason why I talk about it. Documentaries is a thing. I like documentaries. I watch documentaries, and people always have to die in order for anything to get done. The most recent documentary that I watched was the incident in Florida. The mom, she had four babies. And I'm like, and I'm just listening to the story. You hear the story. The police was always on the property, always coming through, always, they're always the same woman making the complaints to the police. And then this woman, she shot a mom. She got four babies. And the officer is like, to one of the babies, she's like, "Are you okay?" And the baby's like, "I'm okay." He's like, "But my heart is broken." Like, oh my God, like this baby. And nobody ever did anything to address the situation because she's a white woman. So then and everybody, you know, it's a mixed neighborhood, but it's the whole bunch of kids. The kids bother her. She would cry. She would do all the stuff to manipulate the people. She was crying. She was hyperventilating and everything, calling the police. And then her voice cleared right up when they started telling her what she was doing. And then she wasn't hyperventilating anymore. She's in jail now, but the kids lost their mother. Four babies, and I'm just like, oh my God. And they didn't do anything. And this woman was a problem. They didn't do nothing. They allowed it. She's a white woman. You know how it go, right? And then this movie for the movie, The Worst Ex Ever. The Worst Ex Ever. This man was causing havoc in all these women's lives. And no one ever did anything until somebody died, until he died, until something bad always has to happen in order for something to happen. So I'm like, wow, for somebody to acknowledge this case, somebody's going to have to die in order for anyone to talk about it, anybody to look into it, and it's unfortunate and it's sad and it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to investigate. It's a lot to look into, and nobody wants to look into it. Who is the boss of the courthouse? Who is doing this? Who is allowing this? Who is letting this go on like this? Because it's racism, it's sexism, it's ageism, it's discrimination. You're discriminating against me. And I work there for 15 years. You know me. You know me. And you know my work ethics. You know how it is. You know how it works. And then it's like the disrespect is so loud. The disrespect. I have been disrespected. People have treated me all kind of ways, and I had to stay there because I had to raise my children. I'm a single mother, and I got to raise the kids, and I got to stay in this job. And I hate this fucking job.